If there's still any question about Florida and whether it's a purple state, we should put those questions to rest, because Florida's state Senate is responding to Texas banning abortions past 6 weeks by drafting their own legislation. Now this is taking place in the state Senate, and when a reporter reached out to confirm the story, the Republican Senate president's response was so evil and so callous that I can't wait to share it with you all. But before I do that, let me give you some more context. So Evan Donovan tweets that Florida State Senate President Wilton Simpson tells me there is no question the Florida legislature will consider an abortion heartbeat bill like Texas's in this upcoming session. It's something we're already working on. Now, when a Tampa Bay Times reporter reached out to him via text to confirm the story, this is what Simpson wrote back. Just take a look at this exchange. Nothing more than a smiley face emoji with sunglasses on. And there's a tight shot of it in case you needed a better look.
I saw it.
Because this is all fun and games for Wilton Simpson and members of the Republican Party, not just in the state of Texas, not just in the state of Florida, but throughout the entire country. Because this isn't about saving lives. They don't actually consider embryos human lives. This is about controlling women. And it is a little rich to see states like Texas and Florida claim that they believe zygotes and embryos are the equivalent of an independent human life, when tens of thousands of independent human lives are dying during a pandemic thanks to their unwillingness to do simple things like implement mask mandates or encourage their own constituents to get the coronavirus vaccine. Doesn't seem like they care about lives at all.
So, first of all, one of our members wrote in earlier, Love Doctor, it's kind of a funny handle, but made a great point. In Texas, the law that they're trying to emulate now in Florida, you get $10,000 if you find out a woman is getting an abortion past 6 weeks. And they made the point of, because of HIPAA regulations, your medical privacy should be guarded. So how would they find out? Which then led me to realize, they're gonna surround the clinics. The vigilantes are gonna surround the clinics trying to find out who's past 6 weeks.
I mean, look, that's what those losers do all day anyway.
But right? Now there's gonna be 10 times, 100 times more people. Why? Because they care? No, because they're trying to get $10,000, which is a lot of money, especially in this authoritarian corporate rule that we have in this country where nobody can make any money. You know that minimum wage, federal minimum wage right now is $15,000 for the whole year. If you work the entire year, $10,000 bounty if you hunt down women and invade their privacy and meddle in their personal lives and somehow find out that they're past 6 weeks, which then now this incentivizes all of Texas, and they're gonna do it in Florida. And they're gonna turn probably the most aggressive, violence-prone right-wing men in the states to go and prey on women. And this guy puts on a sunglass on an emoji like, yeah, that's right, we hate women. We're gonna take away all your rights. We're so cool for taking away the rights of women and treating them like chattel. So now, I do have one point to make about Democrats and the left wing. Guys, Republicans vote based on this issue my whole life. That you could tell them, and we've seen 1,000 cases and we've covered it. They'll say, yeah, I disagree with George Bush on the war. Oh my God, they're wrong about this, they're wrong about that. Yes, I wish my wages would be higher. Yes, I'm in a union and I wish they supported the union. But despite all that abortion, that's it, I'm voting Republican, right? And Democratic voters, or ones leaning towards Democrats, are like, well, I don't know, I'm gonna be sophisticated. They're not really gonna take away Roe v. Wade. They're not gonna take away my rights. I'm not gonna vote based on that issue. Polling indicates that the country is about 70% pro-choice. If the pro-choice voters voted the same way that the anti-choice voters voted, we'd win in landslides, and there would be no Republican-led legislatures in Florida or in Texas. But instead, people go, no, right-wingers don't actually mean their hatred. They're not gonna actually take away our rights. Well, you were wrong, they are.
Yeah, and not only is it taking away our rights in terms of female reproductive rights, this right-wing conservative Supreme Court is very likely to strike down any types of, legislative wins we might have in the name of protecting corporate interests. That's the whole, like, what people don't get is this has been a decades-long project for the right wing, okay? They have patiently but consistently worked toward this very day where we have a right-wing conservative Supreme Court that is likely to, yes, uphold restrictive laws regarding, women's reproductive rights, but also, I mean, I'm terrified of what comes next in terms of protecting corporate interests. What if we succeed in getting Medicare for all passed, and you think it's not gonna be challenged by right-wingers? You think it's not gonna make its way to the Supreme Court at some point? If we make that monumental, progress like possible. And I don't know what's gonna happen, but this is an issue we're gonna deal with for the rest of our lives. And either we're gonna have to pack the courts, reform the Supreme Court, and we see how Democrats operate. Like, what's the likelihood of that happening?
No, none, zero.
Anyway.
So, Supreme Court, conservative, for the rest of a lot of our lives, a lot of us will pass away before the court ever turns back to neutral or the left. And that's what was brought to you by folks who thought it was no big deal. Oh, the courts, that's not a big deal. But also the establishment Democrats that blew it. They lost to Donald Trump, a guy with an IQ barely above 70. They lost to that guy.
It shouldn't have even been close.
It should have been a landslide.
Blowout, yeah, exactly.
And guys, it's the same theme. It's the same theme as to why they're not fighting back effectively now. They could actually just end the filibuster, pass a role-like national law right now. Why did they lose to Trump? Because they play patty cakes with Republicans. They're always so worried about offending them and their sensitive feelings. No, they call Democrats baby killers. That's what the abortion issue is about. It's not about being pro-life. They're not pro-life in anything else. Do they look pro-life on the coronavirus issue? Do they look pro-life as soon as anyone's born? No, it has nothing to do with that. And so do the Democrats then fight back against people calling you baby killers? No, I don't want to offend them. Offend them, you idiots. Offend them. You know why? Because that's how you fight, and you get the people in the middle, the independents, to go, oh yeah, the Republicans do take away my rights. They're not gonna know unless you tell them. Their job isn't politics. They have other jobs. You have to tell them, and you have to tell them loudly and aggressively. The other side is calling you the worst things in the world. They're now calling you a satanic cult, and you're still sitting on your ass asking for permission from the Republicans. Oh, pretty please, can I pass laws? Yeah. No, your job is to go kick their ass. And if they're not doing it, run progressives in the primaries, because progressives don't mind being Democrats. We like being Democrats. The establishment Democrats want to be Republicans. We don't. We actually want to be on the left, and we want to fight people on the right so we can win and protect people. We need to protect women's rights, and progressives are going to do that super aggressively, while the establishment Democrats are going to go, but what's in it for me? What do my consultants say? How will it play out politically in my election? Oh, me. What will my donors think? You guys are pathetic, and you lost the court for our whole lives because of your weakness. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.